Good morning. It's Tim here. It's quite early. Really, the sun's just coming up, and there's a beautiful sea of mist behind me. It's a lovely morning. I'm a bit bleary-eyed. Just got up, or just not exactly got up. Just whatever. Just up. And it's the 13th of November. If anyone's interested. And if anyone's interested, that's a fairly good question from me, really, isn't it? Anyway, thought you might be wanting to hear from me by now. Catch you up, I guess, isn't it? It's been a couple of weeks. And but first, before I catch up on my irrelevant stuff, how are you? I pray you're well. This time, this transition that we are going through is a big one. I've been saying it all along and learning it all along. Learning just how big the infinite is, I guess. that sort of always puts it in perspective for me. If I'm wondering about things, it's like, oh, just surrender here. You know, I think I've got one thing like, oh, no. The infinite just comes at you in a whole nother way, stretching you, evolving you, I guess. We're in a time of mass transformation, preparing us in a way for a new era, a new day. And this is it. It is that simple. So welcome to the new earth. Hope you're enjoying it. And I would say, we have the most incredible opportunity to actually embrace our natures, just how incredible we all are. But in a loving way, you know, like I've said, it's, you know, free will is a given. But you know, that free will is often used so badly. But I guess in this physical world, that is what it's about. Learning, individually learning from our actions, cause and effect, coming ever closer. And observing others in this physical world and making judgments. Seems to be part of a very shallow part of this story. And we are not shallow. So I have trusted through this process that the things, the obstacles, the trials, all of it, is in a way this universe's way of teaching us individually our trials. They strengthen us as we go through. We come out stronger, ready for the next one. And that has given me more trust to understand that this is no race. There is no complete by now part. it's a journey, a growing journey. I still would like part of my journey to be with people on the same page. That is something I long for, something I miss. Through my life, I have been with people on this same page. But then the page seemed to turn, and I found myself without them. And I'd like them back now, please. Oh, I just feel fantastic this morning. A little bit tired and blurry-eyed, but I've had, catch up. So I was in England. I held my brother. So we did that. We drove off that day and drove off through a really wet England down to Plymouth, which is, funny enough, I was within 10 kilometres of all my favourite people down there and I didn't see them. Then we got the boat, which had been delayed half a day because of storms. And that was like, oh no, here we go. And sure enough, it was storming. But it was fantastic. We set off like 11 at night. And it was, once we got out a little way into the channel, started to feel the rocking. And then through the night, I had the top bunk in this cabin. And I had straps on me. If you got straps on your bed, you kind of either in a hospital mental asylum or a rough boat. Worked it out. I've only been on a rough boat. So I had that and a bar at the side, but it was so lovely. It was like being swaddled as a baby. It was just like wrapped in this thing and just being rocked in the most wonderful, random way. So we had a great sleep, to be honest. I did wake up quite early and I wanted to explore the ship. It was really empty. I think it was like 20% capacity. There was only 400 people on it. So that was great, no queuing for the coffee and croissants and all that. Missed my veggie breakfast. They don't do them very long. But it was a whole day on the boat with the water splashing up on the front windows at times. And I've always loved ferries, and it's almost half my life since I've been on one. And as a kid, I used to do them a lot. And luckily, used to throw up a lot when I was a kid. But I think they were rougher than that one. I remember some real rough boats where you literally sort of, as kids, like running along corridors, and then the deck would just go from you, and then it would come back up again. I used to love it, except when we were all thrown up. So that was a real revisiting a sort of childhood experience in a lot of ways. It was great. And we got to Santander and drove down. So my Spanish road trip, which I was longing for years really, I did it at night. Didn't see a bloody thing. I was gutted. My brother's car's too fast as well. It was all just smooth, easy roads, and got to Seville by the morning, and back on the Algarve by kind of 10 in the morning. So it was a very smooth, quick trip, but I was tired that day. I remember that. I was very tired. It all felt a bit funny. Then I was back to my tent, and then into the caravan, and I was in there sort of 2 or 3 nights. And I know I said I had a good caravan. It isn't, I lied. And I know it needs a good old tidy up and a bit of work. That's one thing. That's perfectly, I can see past that. But what I have learnt is that I've got rats in my caravan. So about 4 or 5 in the morning, I'm sitting there trying to be peaceful and go within. And the rats came home. And I could not relax, I tell you. In the end, I sort of turned the light on, thought I saw it, and that freaked me out. I was like, right, that's it. into the car. So I sort of stayed in my car then. And it was an interesting few days. It was all wet as well. And I was like, this isn't not so much fun. Luckily then, I got a house. I'm sitting now on my terrace. That's my view. And I got a house. I'm looking at it in front of me. I've got it for a few months, the winter perhaps, I don't know. And I have to tell you, it did make me feel a lot better. Because you know, if I can't help myself, how do I think I could ever help anyone else? In this world, I trust and leave it all, but perhaps a little bit too much, because this world does respond to effort, to action. And I need to pick that up again. And so I have. I've got a place. It's massive. It's big. I've got rooms. I've got hot water, lovely big shower, beautiful big bed.